are some shoes that um, Terrence's mom and sister got for my daughter for like Christmas and her birthday. These are so cute. Like they get stuff like this for Terrence, for my daughter's aunt. Her daughter loves like stuff like she's like super prissy girly girl, and she loves stuff like this. So like that's, and I mean Aries is only 2, so it's kind of hard to tell. But at this point, like I mean, she likes trying on my shoes, but she likes trying on her father's shoes as well. So I'm just so curious to see if she's gonna be like her cousin, because her mannerisms, like, well, like the way that Aries laughs and like the way that she talks, like she sounds just like her cousin to me, and like certain things that she does is just like her cousin. So I'm just curious to see if she's gonna be like her cousin, because right now Terrence is like all about dressing her like ambiguously, ambiguously, neutrally. You know what I'm trying to say. Like he doesn't dress her like, he's not like, when we're buying her clothes, we, if we see something that we like but it's for boys, then we'll still get it, you know. And like she gets mistaken for a boy all the time, partially because of the way she dresses and partially because her hair is so short, because we've had to cut it several times because she keeps pulling out chunks of her hair. Fortunately, she hasn't done that in a while. Every once in a while, she'll like go as if she's about to do it, but we'll stop her. And so she hasn't pulled her hair out in a while, so it's starting to grow out now. But she doesn't like for us to wash it. She doesn't like for us to do it. James was like that as well, but he still kept a few inches of fro on him, and so we don't want to cut her hair. We want to lock her hair. We want to do locks for her hair. So when it gets long enough, we plan on locking it, and then we don't have to. She doesn't have to worry about us, you know, detangling it. We'll still have to wash it, but she doesn't have to worry about us like detangling it and all that stuff. So, you know, we're just waiting for that day to come. But yeah, so I was just looking at shoes because like you can see all these gifts behind me, because we just went to Slidell to visit Terrence's family, his brother, his sister, his sister's daughter, and his mother. Because Terrence usually helps them move, and they had to move, and so Terrence went down and helped them move. At first, it was going to be him and my daughter going, and I was gonna stay here by myself and, you know, just have the house to myself and kind of relax. But I was gonna clean as well because I didn't know if his brother was gonna be coming back with him, and I wanted his brother and him and my daughter to come home to a clean house. That's like, for me personally, there's nothing like coming home to a clean house. Like after being away for a while, it's just peaceful, so peaceful. So I want to do that for them, but Terrence convinced me to go, and I don't know why I let him, because, you know, after being there, it really wasn't that bad for me, our Aries, but I'm tired, and I feel like it just would have been wiser. Um, Maybe, I don't know, because like I said, it really wasn't that bad for us. It would have been. I just, you know, I wonder if it would have been better if me and Aries would have just stayed here and let him go by himself. But oh well, it's done now. We went. He drove there, and you guys, like the night before we left, he only got like 3 hours of sleep, so he was already tired, which is his usual MO. But usually, you know, he's not going, you know, he's not going taking a road trip, so he'll be able to nap throughout the day and kind of make up for him sleeping so little at night. But obviously, we were going somewhere, so he couldn't do that. So he got like 3 hours the night before we left. And then the night that we spent down in Slidell, he got like 2 hours of sleep because they woke up at 3 o'clock and they didn't stop moving until like midnight. And then they woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to move some more. So, and then the goal was to leave Slidell by 6 o'clock so that we'll be back in Lafayette by 9 o'clock without us having to rush, or with us having some wiggle room. We didn't end up leaving Slidell until like 7 o'clock, and so we got back to Lafayette late, like about an hour late. Um, that cost money, of course, and Terrence wasn't happy about that. Terrence wasn't happy about any of it really. Um, he does it. He helps his family move because that's just what they're used to. But he does not like it because he just doesn't like moving anymore. He doesn't like moving because you, if in his experience, like people when they're moving, they're so disorganized, and they leave it to him to do a lot of work that should have been done before he even got there. And it was just the same with his family. There's a lot of work that it would have been nice if it and more beneficial for everyone involved if it was already done before he even got there. A lot of the house wasn't packed up. Most of the house, nothing was packed. But like I said, I enjoyed my time there. My daughter had fun there. She and they actually his family got gifts for my son as well, which I think is extremely kind. They didn't just think about Aries; they got something for my son too. You know, he's not related to them at all. I'm not married to Terrence. I mean, he doesn't even live with me at this point, and they still got him something. So, and they know that, and I just think that's incredibly kind. And I'm gonna try not to be petty, uh, but it's something that I'm very honest. I told Terrence, I like his family much more than I liked my son's family, and to me, this is just an example of why they're so damn likable. Because James' family, they don't do shit for Aries. Lately, at least James' grandparents are kind to Aries, which is something, and I do appreciate that. Like because when I bring Aries around while I'm visiting my son, at least they're kind to her, and to me that does mean something, and I do appreciate that. But getting her gifts, and I don't know, like at first, like James' grandma got her some newborn clothes, like she did something for her, but then she hasn't done anything since. But it's like I said, the reason why what Terrence's family did sticks out so much is because there's really, it's like I said, not related, not married. They're just doing a kindness to a strange child. But James has met them before, and he spent some time with them before, and he played with Aries' cousin, and they got along really well. They're around the same age. I think James is older. I think, but they're around the same age, so they got along pretty well. Mm. And it's just really nice because Aries' aunt was saying, like she wants her daughter and Aries to like grow up together, like they do have that age gap, but Aries and her daughter get along really well. They like each other a lot. They laugh and giggle and play together. I mean, they have their moments because Aries is still a baby, and so like she doesn't understand like sharing and waiting your turn and stuff like that. And her cousin is still a young child, so she still is struggling with concepts like that. But for the most part, they get along really great, and they really like each other. And she's like, I really want them to grow up together. And she was saying that, hopefully maybe this summer sometime we can all, like, her mom, her daughter, and her brother Tyreek, and her brother Terrence, and Terrence's daughter, and my daughter Aries, and me, we can all go to Mississippi, Margaritaville in Mississippi, which it sounds like a bar or something, but apparently it's a swim park for children, even though it's called Margaritaville. And apparently it's really like fun. So she was like, hopefully we can do that. And I was thinking about that because, I don't think you do know, but I do plan on taking a vacation in August for my birthday. But me and Terrence and Aries were gonna go to Austin, Texas, and so I was thinking, I was like, well, maybe instead of it being like my birthday trip, we can do their like family trip to Mississippi. But Terrence has been wanting to go to Austin for years, and but I don't know. I don't know. But I actually think like usually I do my makeup before work, and it's not like a lot of makeup, but it definitely, it helps. But because I'm so tired and I wanted to have time to drink a cup of coffee and I'm washing my uniform, and I think I want to make me a tuna wrap, a tuna bacon wrap before I go to work. I was thinking, you know what? I think I might just take a shower and wash my face and like do my eyebrows and like moisturize, but that's it. I think that might be all that I do in terms of makeup today. I mean, especially, I'm just gonna be wearing my mask, which is gonna be like this anyway. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, like you can see the bags under my eyes, and it doesn't. I'm not gonna have my eyeliner on, but I'm probably put on some mascara just on the top lash because I've discovered that if I do mascara on the bottom lash without doing a full face, it looks funny to me. So I'll probably just put mascara on the top lashes and do my eyebrows and just call it a day because I am tired. I am tired. Um, Another update. Okay, so that was like my yesterday and this morning. Um, Yesterday, last night, and this morning, I was in Slidell. And it was, oh my gosh, like this morning we got back to Lafayette late, and then my daughter, her eye had swollen up the day before we left for the day before yesterday. But while we were in Slidell, her eye went down, and but we had already scheduled our doctor's appointment to make sure that she was good. And her doctor's appointment was like at 10:30. We made it to the hospital at like 10:25, and Terrence accidentally locked his keys in the car. So I had to take her to her doctor's appointment by myself, and he had to get an Uber to the house where he has a spare, get let in, you know, but we're gonna start letting me carry spares. I'm gonna be the spare carrier. Because usually I don't forget my bag and my purse in the car, I mean, it can happen obviously, but usually I don't. So yeah, because that I was at the hospital waiting for, because the doctor's appointment took maybe 20-30 minutes, and I was at the hospital waiting for another almost an hour. Almost an hour. Yeah, actually. Yeah, like a little bit over an hour. And then we went to pick up her medicine from the pharmacy, and then we came home. We came home, and London is back. London the dog is back. She stinks, and she pisses and poos in the house. So I'm not looking forward to that. And when she barks, Aries cries. So I'm not looking forward to that. And if she gets too close to Aries, Aries cries. So I'm not looking forward to that. But hopefully as time goes on, Aries will get used to her and it will stop being such a hassle. I'll be back. Let me check what time it is. Yeah, I'm running out of time, even to do barely nothing to get ready for work. Hopefully, okay, there's only 9 more minutes left. Um, I barely put anything in the washer, aside from my uniform, so my uniform should dry in time. Aries is sleeping. She was exhausted. Like almost as soon as we finally got into Terrence's truck to leave the hospital, she went to sleep. She had fun while waiting for Terrence. Thank goodness, that wasn't a struggle. Like I said, I've just been very fortunate with Aries these last few days while we were in Slidell. She did really well with me. I mean, there was a few times where she wanted her dad because she saw him, and she's used to spending time with me and him. So she was upset that she couldn't go and be held by him and sit around him because he was working and moving. But for the most part, she did really well. And then while I was waiting at the hospital, while we were stuck at the hospital, she had a blast. She was just playing around, dancing around, climbing, sitting, jumping, and she wasn't making too much noise, and it was just fine. It was just fine. It was fortunate for me because, like I said, I'm tired, and my stomach was cramping for some reason. I had cramps, so yeah. But I was just about to say it's a pretty good day, even though it's actually been very hectic. But just because it's hectic doesn't mean it's not a good day. And I have, Terrence has been he was in a pissy mood, but I haven't let that get to me, and he seems to be fine now that he's home. I mean, he's napping. But I haven't let that get to me, and I really didn't want to, and I was just telling myself Terrence is not the enemy, and neither is Aries, and neither is London. There is no enemy. I can relax. Shit happens all the time. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cook and watch some YouTube. Hopefully somebody posted something interesting on YouTube for me to watch while I'm cooking my tuna bacon wrap. I know we have leftover shrimp and cabbage, but I don't want to eat that because it gives me gas. It's delicious and healthy, but it gives me gas, and I have to go to work, and I don't want to be uncomfortable at work. So my sister was all like, I told her everything that was happening. She was like, you should call in. And I was like, well, there's really no one to work for me. And she was like, girl, you better call in, because let me tell you something. If you drop it dead, best believe they will find somebody to work for you. And I was like, well, damn. That is very, very true. If they had to, someone else would work for me. But I don't even wanna go down that road of quitting, staying, capitalism, having a job, working for myself. I mean, I've already told you guys, I want to work for myself. I'm just not there right now. Right now I'm not doing it. And it's not that I can't. It's just that I'm not. I haven't done it. I haven't applied myself. I haven't taken the leap of faith. I just haven't done it. And I'm still just so comfortable. I'm so used. I'm so accustomed. This is the lifestyle that I know. Being a slave to work. This is what I know. And so I'm trying to do something that I don't know, and I don't know what to do. But anyways, I'm about to cook. I hope you guys are having a great day no matter what's going on. I'm trying to think about my mental illness. I had a few intrusive thoughts, which is usual, when I was driving, and I was like, not voices, just intrusive thoughts where it's I don't want to think like this. I don't want to, think like that. I don't, or like I don't want to have like these anxious thoughts. Because there was a few moments while I was driving that made me very anxious, like made my heart race, because people are fucking. I'm not like the most proficient, like skilled driver. Like I trust Terrence's driving more than my own. But he was so tired and achy. I was like, I'll drive back, even though I didn't want to. I was like, I'll drive back. So I was driving back, and there was a few times on the road where, you know, there were like close calls, and it obviously we were, thank goodness, we're fine. But and so like 30 minutes in, I told him, I was like, this is making me so anxious. I was like, I don't think I can drive. I don't think I can do all of it. But I ended up doing all of it because he was like, okay, you know, you drive half of it and then I'll do the other half. When it came around time to switch, traffic picked up so much. It was, and I was all the way on the far left when traffic picked up. So I wasn't gonna make it to get off, you know? And so I was like, so by the time traffic cleared up, there was like 30 minutes left. I was like, I'm it's like a 2 to 2.5 hour drive. I was like, I'm finishing it. So, you know, there's only 30 minutes left. But yeah, that's my uniform. I'm about to put it in the dryer. I'm about to cook. I'm about to watch a little bit of YouTube, and then I'm gonna get ready for work.